I'm up again.
Are you on this?
Yep, I'm on the,
Do we have this in here?
fortunately, this is not on the network. But I did, in your packet, there was a, well, this one isn't in your packet, this is just recently created. And unfortunately, we're not on the network, and I have to apologize, I didn't make a copy of this beforehand. But this, all the information that you have is in your packet on this. And we'll just go through it briefly. The background and on this is that, like I had mentioned before, we have the Anthem Heights subdivision that came in just recently that was approved by council by final plat. As prior to it coming into the council, there was a preliminary approval of the plat with a specific lot configuration that's shown within this overhead here. And it showed lots 5 and 6 coming off Skinner Road in a storm drainage tract. This is what was actually approved by council in the final plat approval a couple of weeks ago by council. What they wanted to do was this configuration, get rid of the storm drainage tract and reconfigure 5 and 6, give us a little bit more property. The purpose being is that they put the storm drainage for the development underneath the street in a stormwater detention vault, and it was a stormwater detention, water quality, quantity system that worked better than the tract itself. The only problem that we had with this configuration, we had nothing in our codes that allow a minor, what you call a minor alteration to a subdivision, which would be something that could be done administratively prior to it coming to council for a final plat approval. And so what we put together, there are some draft regulations that would allow minor alterations to a preliminary subdivision that was approved by hearing examiner and also by council. And what that would mean is that part of the subdivision code revisions is that if a minor alteration, and there would be criteria for a minor alteration, if it came to the staff and it met those criteria, then the staff can approve the alteration to the subdivision administratively, subject to specific criteria, and those criteria are in the code that's before you tonight. That's in the packet, and I won't go through them all. And like I said, there will be no hearing before the hearing examiner, unless the decision of the staff is appealed to the hearing examiner. In other words, council wouldn't see a minor alteration. They would see it at the time final plat approval came in, after it's already approved. So that's one of the new sections of the code, that subdivision code we're looking at. The second one deals with the expiration of preliminary plats. And this new section, all it really does is take what's in the state law regarding expirations of preliminary plats and put them in our code provisions. Our current code provisions are out of date and they don't reflect state law and the expiration timelines for preliminary plats. So those are the two main changes to the subdivision code that we're looking at this point in time. And all I can say is that other code provisions for the subdivision code will be coming in sometime in the future because the whole subdivision code needs to be updated. But I felt that these ones were necessary at this time so that we can provide a better service to, especially with preliminary plats, to developers if they want to do a minor alteration to a preliminary plat. Are there any questions? Questions from council?
And are you looking for action on this at next week's meeting?
No, I'm looking for action on the October 12th. I think this will provide the council a little bit of time to take a look at the specifics, and if you have any questions, we can answer them at the October 12th. But I'm looking for action to approve the proposed amendments at the October 12th meeting.
And you'll bring this back to the next workshop as well?
Yes, we can bring it to the next workshop, and if you have questions there, we can answer those questions.
October 13th, isn't it?
Yes, 12th.
13th, excuse me, it's the 13th, because we do have...
Sorry, it's a holiday.
Holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a holiday I'm not used to, so.
October 12th is a holiday?
Yeah.
Columbus Day.
I thought the state of Washington wasn't observing that anymore.
It's Indigenous Peoples' Day.
Well, it's that,
Yeah.
it's both.
Okay.
So, I mean, so let's come back on the 13th.
You can come on Monday. That's fine.
City Hall will be closed.
Questions from council? Okay, we'll see you in a couple weeks.